What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my YouTube channel, Live Again. Today I want to talk about Hoover games. Not the Hunger Games, but the Hoover games. So you discovered that you were in a narcissistic marriage or a narcissistic relationship, and you decided that you wanted more for your life. So you decided to leave the narcissist. You have to remember that the narcissist thinks that they are in control of everyone and everything. And so you cannot leave that easily in their minds. So you decide to go no contact like a boss. And all of a sudden, you are getting contacted by the narc. You went no contact, you blocked them, but now you're receiving phone calls from strange numbers. Now there's an influx of calls from private numbers. Now you have some sort of energy, connection, feeling that someone is following you. It's the narc. But why, right? Like, this is what you wanted. You abused me, you pushed me away, you wanted me to go away. Why the Hoover games? Y'all, we were dealing with sick creatures. We were dealing with sick individuals who like to play games. And Hoover games is just one of their many tricks. So, I'll share with you a bit of my experience with the Hoover games. When I decided to leave my ex-abuser, I did it quietly without him knowing. And I had friends and family come over and help me pack up everything the same day, pack up the truck, and I left. I went no contact. And lo and behold, that very same day, the Hoover games started. At the time, we were staying in an apartment. We were about to close on a house that we ended up not getting by the grace of God. So we were staying in an apartment until the closing. And then we decided once we didn't get the house, okay, we're just going to go ahead and stay in the apartment. And at our apartment complex, there was the mail room where the mailboxes were. And then there's a package room where all package deliveries went. And whenever you received a package, every individual in the apartment complex, because we lived in the city, his job was very close by and we lived in the city. And whenever you would receive a package, they would send you a text message as well as an email. There was always a picture of the shipping label. They always told you where the package was coming from, what time it was delivered. This information was always available anytime you had a package dropped off in your name. You would use the access code, the QR code and the scanner to gain access inside of the locker room. It was what it was called, but it was just like a mail package room in order to retrieve your package. Well, the day that I decided to leave, that night, I got a message. You have a package to pick up. And I thought to myself, what package what did I have delivered? I knew I was moving. I'm like, oh, it's my cousin's baby shower. So I immediately text my cousin and I'm like, hey, did you get your baby shower gift? Because I thought that I put her address in. She texted me back and said, hey, yeah, I did get it. I was just waiting for the second one because I know you said there were two, and then I was going to text you at the same time about both of them. And I said, oh, no worries, And so at that point, I knew that I was dealing with a sick, twisted individual who liked to play games, who is mental. And I just knew it was my ex-abuser. So I did a little bit more investigating. I did a little bit more investigating, more than usual. I actually looked at the picture. See, normally when I have a package coming, I know I have a package coming, so I don't really look into it too deeply. I just get the access code and go and pick up my package. But on this particular night, it was 8 o'clock at night. I thought, who's delivering a package this late at night, number one. Number two, I look at the picture, and this is the first time that I've ever seen a shipping label that's just an arm. Yeah, it was just an arm in the picture. No shipping label, just an arm. As soon as I looked at that picture, I knew that it was my ex-abuser. He had on a specific jacket that he would always wear from a specific company that was closely related to him. I looked up the picture of him wearing that jacket and his cousin wearing the jacket, and I showed it to family and friends, and I'm like, and I put the pictures up side by side. I'm like, tell me what you see. And they explained exactly what they saw, and they were like, yeah, that's the same coat. I said, I know. I said, you know who that is? And they were like, no. I said, it's him. It was my ex-abuser. This wouldn't be the last time that he would do that. He would send me fake packages trying to lure me over to the apartment. I don't know what plans he had. Of course, I never went because I recognized that it was him playing games, and I knew I hadn't had any packages delivered over there. I had already had my mail changed. I planned everything out very carefully before I left that day. And I knew that I didn't have any packages delivered. But he tried many times to hoover me with that. It was always pictures of his arm, and it was always at different times of the night. There's a place where it would say carrier, and it would either have UPS or USPS or FedEx ground, and it would to Amazon, Walmart. It would tell you who is the carrier, where it was coming from, your package that is. And every single time he hoovered me and sent me a package, it said building management. Now, my ex-abuser is a police officer, and he also worked for the apartment complex. And they assured me after we had an incident happen, they said, oh, he only has access to the cameras. Everything else we are in control of. He doesn't have access to it. I said, okay. But some kind of way, I know how now, but I won't even talk about that on the video, but he was able to send me all these fake packages with his arm, and they would always say in the carrier section, building management. It was so freaky and weird because, again, somebody in their right mind wouldn't make sense of this. It sounds silly. My friends and family were like, what? Are you sure? Because that's just how crazy and insane it sounds. I mean, he's insane. I mean, that's just how crazy it sounds. But he would send me these packages. And to others, it might sound, like, oh, that's not a big deal. Somebody said, it is a big deal. And it's crazy. It's crazy. That's exactly what it is. Hoovering can look like anything. It can look like a lot of phone calls from unidentified numbers, phone calls from their number if you haven't blocked them yet. Driving by your job, driving by your new home, wherever you're staying, sending fake packages, sending emails. Because at this time, my ex-abuser was being investigated, he wouldn't send emails and things like that because he didn't want the evidence, but he would always do covert things that only I would know, or so he thought only I would know. But of course, my friends and family knew, and I had alerted the proper authorities of different things that he was doing, but he would do things covertly to try to cover himself. When we were looking for him to serve divorce papers, it became a game for him, and it was like a hiding game, and it was fun to be able to run from the server and not get served the paperwork, and he knew that we were looking for him. Days later, after they went to his job looking for him, they informed his sergeant that they were looking for him. Days later, he called me to try to wish me happy birthday, I guess, because it was on my birthday. And I thought to myself, now, after physically abusing me, being under investigation, me moving out, which I'll have to tell you more about that in another video. That's for another video. Deadbolt locking the doors so that I can't get into the bedrooms, gaslighting me, manipulating me, lying to me time and time again. You still had the audacity to call me on my birthday to wish me happy birthday. For what? But we're talking about a narcissist. They don't see things the way normal people do. So he hoovered me with that, and he would continue to hoover until I started my healing. I was going to therapy. I shifted my focus and my energy into something else and onto something else. Me, my self-care, my healing. I was stuck with no contact. And I decided never to look back. I knew it was over once I found out what type of creature he was. It was over. And the hoovering finally stopped. Now, do I think he will hoover again? Probably. Probably one of these days. I don't know. I don't really care because, I mean, I could see him out in public and I would walk past like I don't even know who he is. Like, that's exactly how I would handle that. But the hoovering games, you know, it's fun for them. It's not an answered prayer. I just saw that quote somewhere. A hoover is not an answered prayer. Like, oh yes, they hoover me. They must still care. They do not care about you. They do not care about you. They hoover everyone. That is what they do. You have some narcissists that will hoover and some that never will. I've heard stories where people have told me they never received a hoover. And then there's stories where other people did receive a hoover. I honestly think that it's just that narcissist disorder, their personality, whatever you want to call it, whatever their traits are. That's just what they do, and what one doesn't do, the other one does, and vice versa. And so some hoover, some don't. And it's not fun, you know, because you just came out of an abusive situation. You might still be hyper vigilant and fearful and things are going on. It's not cute to be hoovered. It's not fun at all. It's not like, wow, they love me. They don't love anyone. It is not fun. If you go back to them, they will only abuse you more. So don't participate in the Hoover games. Continue to stay no contact. Continue to choose yourself first. God bless.